A midlife crisis is more than just a cultural stereotype. It's a real psychological struggle that can surface between the ages of 40 and 60. Often triggered by aging, loss, or unmet expectations, it can actually lead individuals to question their identity, make impulsive choices, or abruptly abandon long term commitments. While not officially classified yet as a mental illness, the emotional and relational fallout is very real, especially for the spouses and families left behind. This podcast gives voice to those living through the aftermath, exposing the hidden pain, and seeking accountability, healing, and understanding. Thank you for joining us today on MLC Bomb Drop and Beyond. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Welcome back to MLC Bomb Drop and Beyond. I'm your host, Trina Laird, and today we are going to be talking about one of the things I get asked often is a variety of, are they trying to drive me to suicide? Do they hate me? Things like that. And this really hits hard for people because if you've lived through a midlife crisis, discard, or a relationship with someone showing strong narcissistic traits, I know you felt something so brutal, so disorienting, that this question doesn't sound extreme. It actually sounds pretty accurate. You guys, this is serious stuff. We're talking about the coldness, the cruelty, that complete emotional shutdown that you see, the rewriting of your entire life together, and the way that your spouse can look at your pain and seem totally unaffected, or sometimes even annoyed by it. And at some point, many of you have thought, how could someone do this unless they wanted to destroy me? I've had people ask me, oh my God, it sounds like your ex totally hates you. And I'm like, I know, that's how it feels. It's so crazy. But there's no clinical evidence that narcissists or people in midlife crisis are consciously trying to drive their spouse to suicide. That is not a defined goal. But, and this is where we need to be very real, you guys, the impact of their behavior can absolutely push someone into emotional collapse. And that matters just as much. In both narcissistic patterns and midlife crisis states, something does shift. Empathy drops, self-focus skyrockets, accountability totally disappears. And what does it get replaced with? Justification, blame, emotional detachment, and often a complete rewriting of reality. And now you have become the problem, the obstacle. Oh my gosh, you're the reason they're unhappy. And suddenly, your pain becomes totally irrelevant to them, which is totally unbelievable. So, are they trying to kill you? No. Are they trying to lead you to suicide? No. But here's the truth that hits just as hard. They may be willing to emotionally destroy you to get what they want. The affair, the escape, the reinvention, the validation, whatever it is, they prioritize that over your well-being. And that level of disregard, it can feel like annihilation. And what does this do to you? Because this is where it gets dangerous. When the person you trusted most becomes unrecognizable, your brain struggles to make sense of it. And that creates cognitive dissonance, trauma bonding, nervous system dysregulation, identity collapse. And you start asking, oh my God, what did I do wrong? How did I miss this? How did I not see the signs? Was anything real before? And when those questions go unanswered, they can spiral into, maybe I didn't matter at all. And that's the danger zone. And if you're in that space right now, please hear me clearly. Their behavior is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of their instability, their lack of coping skills, and their dysfunction. Please know you are not the problem that they are trying to solve. You are the person caught in the fallout of something that they refuse to face. And this is where the shift has to happen. Because if you stay focused on, why they're doing it, whether they'll wake up from the fog, whether they care about you and what you're going through, you're going to stay stuck in their chaos. Instead, the question for you needs to be, what do I need to do to survive this and come out of it intact? Well, here are some signs that you're being impacted at a dangerous emotional level. If you feel constant anxiety or panic, if you're losing sleep and can't eat, if you're obsessing over their behavior or the affair, if you feel worthless, discarded, or replaced, or if you've had thoughts like, I can't do this anymore. You guys, if that's you, this is not weakness. That is a trauma response, and you need support. You are not meant to survive this by understanding them. You are meant to survive this by stabilizing yourself. And to my bomb squad listening, if you've ever felt like their behavior was so cruel it could break you, you're not crazy. You're responding to something that is deeply destabilizing. But hear this, you do not go down with their collapse. You don't. You step out of it, you rebuild, you reclaim your identity. And one day you will see this clearly. It wasn't that you weren't enough, it's that they lost themselves and they took aim at everything around them. And I have got a little, I'll call it a bomb drop survival guide. What you're experiencing can feel like emotional freefall, sudden abandonment, being replaced, blamed, or erased. You guys, we all know this is not a normal breakup. This is psychological shock and attachment trauma. There is a danger zone, and you need to recognize it early. Because if you're in this space, you need support, not isolation. If you can't stop thinking about them, if you're losing sleep or losing your appetite, if you feel panic, dread, or constant anxiety, if you're questioning your reality or sanity, this is your nervous system overload. You've got to stop trying to understand them. You will not think your way out of this. And the more you analyze their behavior, their affair, a personality shift, the deeper you're going to go into the spiral. Because clarity doesn't come from them, it comes from distancing yourself from them. Limit exposure to them. Every interaction can reset your healing. Reduce the texting or calling. Don't check the social media. And don't be asking mutual friends for updates. You cannot heal while reopening that wound every day. And you've got to regulate your body, not just your thoughts. Your body is in trauma mode. Do simple physical resets like walking outside for 10 or 20 minutes, sitting in the sunlight, which is easier to do this time of year. This isn't self-care fluff. This is total nervous system repair. And anchor yourself to safe people because, not everyone gets it. That's why we are here for each other for support. Choose wisely. You need someone who believes you, can understand, who doesn't minimize what you're going through. Trauma destroys daily routine, and you're going to have to rebuild that gently. Maybe starting with waking up at the same time every day, eating something, even if it's something small, one task every day. Just shower, move, step outside. Structure starts to create stability when everything else feels chaotic. And here's some little reality checks for when your mind starts to spiral. Remember, their behavior is about them. It's not about your worth. You are reacting to shock and not truth. It does feel permanent, but it's not. They are going through chaos, but you've got to let go and just let them go through their thing. And remember, you don't need answers today to survive today because you may never get answers. And just know Do not collapse just because someone else is collapsing. You've got to stand strong. Don't beg, chase, or try to wake them up because that could even make it worse. Don't compare yourself to the affair partner. It's a total affair down. So stay in your lane and forget about the affair partner. That person is a placeholder, and it could be anything. Like I said in so many episodes, it's just a life raft. Don't try to prove your value to someone who is devaluing you. They're not even rational right now. They can't even think like a normal person. Don't isolate or hide what you're going through, and don't make permanent decisions from temporary emotional collapse like they did. And when you need more support, if your thoughts are getting darker or you feel like you're slipping, please reach out to someone that you trust immediately. Consider a therapist familiar with trauma or narcissistic abuse or midlife crisis. And if you're in the US, you can call or text 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline 24 hours a day. It's free and confidential. And remember, you guys, you don't have to be at the edge to reach out. You just have to not want to feel like this anymore. You are not meant to survive this by fixing them. You are meant to survive this by protecting yourself. So thanks again for joining me today. Remember, you are not alone in this. We are all in this together, and we are coming out of it stronger and clearer and no longer defined by someone else's breakdown. So thanks again for joining me today on Bomb Drop and Beyond. We'll see you soon in the next episode. Hey guys, this is Trina, and I want to take a moment to speak directly to anyone who didn't choose the collapse but is living with the aftermath. When a spouse enters midlife crisis, the damage doesn't unfold slowly. It happens like an explosion. One day you're living a shared life with your best friend, and the next moment, that person that you have trusted and loved for so many years has emotionally disappeared almost overnight, rewriting history, minimizing the damage, and running from the very family they helped build. Friends are confused, the story gets simplified, and the spouse left behind is often expected to handle it quietly, gracefully, all while absorbing the fallout all alone. After the bomb drop, a survival guide for the left behind spouse was written for you. This book doesn't offer platitudes or false hope. It names what others avoid. Inside, I will walk you through what is actually happening when someone runs from themselves, why chasing answers only deepens the wound, and how to stabilize your life after emotional abandonment. In this book, we talk about why these departures feel so sudden and destabilizing, because in fact, they are destabilizing, and why the spouse who stays is often blamed, erased, or silenced. Why saving yourself is not abandonment, and how to grieve someone who is still alive while finding your footing again. This book does not promise reconciliation. It offers you guys something more necessary at this time, and that is stability, dignity, and a way forward when someone else has chosen to run after the bomb drop. The Survival Guide for the Left Behind Spouse is available now on Amazon Kindle in both ebook and paperback. It's also available in audio version on Spotify. And if you're standing in the blast radius and wondering how to survive what you did not cause, this book was written for you. Hey, some resources that are available for you guys are thewifeexpert.com. That's Lori McDermott over there at thewifeexpert.com. She also has a new app out. There's tons of videos that can give you all kinds of information on no matter where you are on your MLC journey or trying to reconcile with your spouse. So check out thewifeexpert.com. And if you're not sure if your spouse or yourself is in maybe approaching or in a midlife crisis, be sure to check out Kenda Root's quiz at midlifecrisismarriageadvocate.com. Again, that's midlifecrisismarriageadvocate.com. That's a quick little 2-minute quiz. It's free. So check that out as well. We have a ton of resources out there for you guys. So check them out. Thanks. The stories and events discussed in this podcast are for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered legal, medical, or professional advice. Any names, locations, or identifying details have been changed to protect privacy. Any similarities to actual persons, living or dead, or real events are purely coincidental. The information presented on this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional advice. Always consult with a qualified expert regarding any decisions related to your specific situation. The views expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the podcast creators. Hey, if you have a story you'd like to share with our listeners, or if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email mlcbombdrop@gmail.com. Again, that's mlcbombdrop@gmail.com. All right. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.